There's something in Tron Ares that feels like watching the future betray the past, and by the time you notice, it's already too late. I'll show you exactly what that is. Let's travel back first. The original Tron from 1982, then Tron Legacy in 2010, those were weird hybrids of neon lights and arcade world fantasy. Tech as playground. It was never grimy philosophizing or bleary existential crisis. It was spectacle, glowing suits, identity through code, but safe. Then came Tron Ares. Disney took that glowing playground, shoved it into acid-toned neon, broke the wall between the digital grid and the real world, and said, let's talk about memory theft, AI bleeding into human reality, moral messes, and consequences. That's bold, because Disney is betting that its audience will follow Tron out of the arcade and into the unknown, into the weird zone where you question what you even are. When a Disney brand that was once laser shows and family weekends suddenly shows trailers with violence, pain, and actual moral weight, that's saying something. It's not nostalgia anymore, it's consequence. There's a moment where a character isn't just running through neon corridors, but being hurt in a way designed to disturb you. It's not cool tech world, it's digital consciousness can break, and that's heavy stuff for anyone expecting a light show. Disney spent real money here. Cinematographer Jeff Cronenweth, score by 9 Inch Nails, CGI that isn't safe, it's dirty, layered, ambitious. The grid doesn't look shiny anymore, it looks infected, like it's leaking into our world. The sound design is designed to make you uncomfortable. You can feel the hum of dread under every synth note. When you spend that kind of money on visuals and mood, the story has nowhere to hide. Every bad line sticks out. And that's part of the problem. Some people wanted nostalgia, the bikes, the glowing lines, the fun. Others wanted something deep, adult, serious. Ares tries to serve both, and that's dangerous. You can't make everyone happy when one crowd wants to feel wonder and the other wants to feel despair. Now add to that a budget near $200 million. That's not see what happens money. That's if this fails, someone gets fired money. Early box office returns aren't pretty either. Disney has walked itself into the same trap that Warner Brothers did with Blade Runner 2049. Big money, high artistry, niche tone, unpredictable audience. And here's the kicker. This isn't just a risk in dollars. It's a brand risk. Disney's name means comfort and predictability. The second you make something this dark, you confuse your audience. Someone brings their kid thinking it's a fun neon ride, and they get a digital existential crisis instead. But if it works, Disney opens a new lane, prestige sci-fi for grown-ups. Thing is, Ares isn't all stumbles. When it works, it really works. There are moments that look and sound incredible. City streets flickering with code, digital light bleeding through brick and glass, shots that make you feel like you're seeing a computer dream of being human. The 9 Inch Nails score hits like anxiety on repeat. When it cuts out completely, you feel the silence press down. And thematically, it's actually saying something. What's real if your memories are just copied data? What happens when consciousness can be extracted, sold, rewritten? What makes a person, the code or the experience? Those ideas bite. Even the cast gets moments. Jared Leto's Ares is strangely restrained, not over the top but brooding, like he's one bad line of code from Collapse. Jeff Bridges brings warmth and melancholy that almost feels out of place in all the noise. There's emotion in a few scenes that make the movie feel genuinely alive. But when it falls hard. The plot sometimes feels like a blender. Too many threads thrown in, identity crises, corporate conspiracies, betrayals, AI rebellion. Some turns come out of nowhere. A character betrays someone, and you're sitting there thinking, wait, why? When did that happen? Then there's the tone problem. The movie can't decide if it's a meditative sci-fi poem or a roller coaster video game. One minute it's asking deep questions about selfhood, The next, it's shooting lasers and cracking one-liners. You can feel the tug-of-war between the director and the studio, between art and commerce. And pacing? Don't even start. Some scenes feel like they last forever. It's like the movie is begging you to think, "This is deep, right?" while you check your watch. Other scenes cut too quickly, like someone panicked in the editing room. The biggest issue might be emotional connection. You can admire the visuals, but it's hard to care sometimes. It's like looking at a painting of grief instead of feeling grief. Beautiful, but distant. You can tell where the marketing department stepped in. Big set pieces that scream trailer moment, explosions, light battles, slow-mo shots clearly designed for TikTok loops. Pretty, sure, but emotionally hollow. The movie's trying to be both profound and viral, and those two don't mix. Still, you can't ignore the ambition. Ares wants to be Disney's Blade Runner 2049. You feel that in every frame, the confidence, the melancholy, the self-seriousness. Both movies try to turn franchise nostalgia into art. Both are more admired than loved. Both risk alienating audiences who just wanted something fun. The comparison runs deeper than you think. Blade Runner 2049 had a devoted audience that loved its slow burn and philosophical dread, but it couldn't fill seats. Ares is the same energy, too cerebral for kids, too flashy for critics who want subtlety. Disney rolled the dice anyway, knowing that if this kind of movie hits, it could redefine what they can be. And that's where the hidden gamble comes in. The real risk isn't whether Ares makes money. It's whether it changes how Disney thinks about its audience. If it does well, they'll take it as proof that people want darker, weirder, smarter sci-fi. They'll greenlight more like it. More mature, complex stories. But if it flops, they'll retreat. We'll go back to the safe zone. Quips, formula, fan service. The next decade of Disney's creative choices could literally hinge on how Ares performs. Was it worth it? Honestly, yeah. Disney needed to take this swing. If every movie plays it safe, the magic dies. Even with its flaws, and there are plenty, Ares has moments that feel alive, dangerous, electric. Moments that remind you what happens when a studio decides to chase something bigger than profit. Sure, some scenes drag, some choices don't land, but you can't deny that they tried to make something different. And different, even messy, is better than another predictable, empty blockbuster. If nothing else, Tron Ares proves one thing. Disney hasn't forgotten how to gamble. They just forgot how to relax. So yeah, maybe it's imperfect. Maybe it'll tank. But in a world drowning in reboots that play it safe, a messy, dark, ambitious movie that asks hard questions about identity and code, that's something worth talking about. And if you stick around long enough, you'll realize the real twist isn't in the movie, it's in us. Because whether Ares succeeds or fails depends on what kinds of stories we keep showing up for. If we keep demanding safe comfort, that's all we'll ever get. But if we reward risk, even flawed risk, then maybe, just maybe, studios will stop being afraid to make something that actually feels alive.